It seems a storm is coming, but they never land here. Storms don't remember us no more. It feels like if it was yesterday when that huge one came by. I was very young back then, and everything was beautiful to me. Even in human cruelty, I'd find something pure flowing from the heart's deepest part. How many memories, how much happiness my memory is showing me. How much inconvenience, mostly, in a day as sad as today. Focusing yourself is really not my thing. Am I out of focus? I don't know, a manual thing? I don't know. Okay. Hello everybody. I'm gonna do a book review. So, I'm really excited. I'm gonna be reviewing 2 books from the same author. His name is Vicente Drü. He comes from South Spain, I think Algeciras, more or less. Over here, there he is. That's the main guy. So, he's a poet and a novelist. And he's not really well known, and I don't know why, because he's really good. I've brought, whoa, I've brought these 2 books. This one's called Stones of an Impossible Rain, and this book's called 3,785 milligrams. That's a poetry book, and that's a novel. Okay, so the first book I ever read was this one, the poetry one. His poetry is very shocking because he's moved by his personal passions and thoughts and feelings, but in a very deep, kind of darkish way, if that makes any sense. I don't know, I just adore him. He writes magic. This book was published by Canalla Ediciones. It's named this way because every single poem of the book is named after a psychological illness, disease, something like that. So you get like really beautiful, creepy, and I don't know, weird names like burnout, fartlet, Pika, bluer, or blower. I don't know the. I can't pronounce these things. Otilo, Capgrass, Coro, Ulysses, Briquet, Barlow, which is that symptom actually like freaked me out a little bit. I don't know, like you get all these names, this mental illness names, whatever, and he had all these poems written down. And he started doing a research of this mental disabilities or whatever, and he's a very curious man. So he started doing this this research, and he decided that he would also find out the medication and how many milligrams you should take if you have whatever mental disease you have. And so each and every poem has the name, it's named after one of those diseases, and it's got written here below the name of the medication and the milligrams you have to take each day. These poems have very different subjects, and he writes about different things: sex, life, thoughts. He has a poem here it's kind of a shopping list or whatever, and he kinds of explore people's mind and the unconscious part of each one of us, and the mind tricks that we have. And I was really thrilled by this book. I was so amazed. Like I've always been reading poetry, but like this book is so different. It has a very light way of explaining things, but at the same time it's really harsh and direct, and totally recommend it. And the second book I read, which I finished it last night, it's not in stores anymore, like you can't buy this, but I'm okay, so if I reunite enough people who want to buy the book and blah blah, which is gonna be kind of impossible, not impossible, it's like, how are you gonna do that, Ginger? No way you're gonna get it, you're just a tiny little person. You know the deal. But I really want people to get to know this guy because he's so cool. Like, he writes amazing. I got to meet him in person and to talk with him a few times, and he's a very, very, very cool guy. Like, he's very honest and humble and sweet and very thoughtful. He's someone who really observes life and events and people and all that jazz. So he's a very cool guy to me. So this book is called Stones of an Impossible Rain, and it's a novel. I believe it's the only novel he has written so far, and it was published by Nuevos Escritores. And this book, oh my god, like, this book is so good, so good. It's like this thin. I didn't want it to end, and it's divided on like different people, you know, there are different characters, and he divides the book on some of them. It's so good. Like, you know, there are many writers and novelists, whatever, there are many writers who try to write a novel or whatever and pretend like they are different characters. Maybe it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 5, whatever, but they really try to embody those characters, and they can't. It's like you read those different sides of the book, or those different views, and if the book wasn't telling you already that it was someone else who is thinking and you're reading about that someone, you would think it was the person you were reading before, because this, I don't know, like, they write exactly the same way, and they don't really take the time to make a big analysis of the character's psyche, which I think it's fundamental if you want someone to believe that's real, that, you know, they have a communication with what you're reading. So, and actually Vicente Drü really accomplishes that, which is, it's really good. I was really moved by that. So you have different characters. The first one is Lluvia, Celia, and Mr. Lod. Then you have Tati, which is, well, Grandma Tati, which is another character, and you have Blanca, like, and then you have the crazy soldier, and then you have Alice, and I think that's it. So, what's so good about this book? Oh my, I'm really happy about it. Let me just show you how excited I am. Like, you get a whole chapter, like a whole vision of a character, just like this. You got music, a whole character, no lyrics, just like that, reading music. Isn't this amazing? Like, isn't this good? When I saw this, I was like, oh my god, he's the only man I know. There could be many other authors, whatever, has done it, but whatever. But how many people do actually take the time to write music and publish it, but not as a song, but as part of a book? And then you have another. This is so thrilling. You have another character whose vision of life is through poetry. So you have a whole chapter just made out of poetry. Poems everywhere. Like, how? I mean, how? This is so cool. And then you have another character who expresses himself, well, in this case, herself, through theater. So you have a little piece of a play written here completely. It's like, it's a script. It's a script of a play, and it's the vision of one of the characters. Like, how how cool is that? Like, how many authors mix all these different techniques into one novel and actually like get them to fit? And this is so exciting. And one of the characters is deaf, so it's so well described and done. Like, if you actually think you're deaf yourself and you live live and that very moment as if you were deaf, and you actually can like feel like sound vibrations and stuff, if that makes any sense. And then you have another one who has a whole dialogue with herself on her mind out loud, and with another character who doesn't speak at all. So it's all like saying in someone else's thoughts, and it's so creepy and spooky and so good. Like, I was like, oh my god, I actually love that one. It's so good. He's a very good analysis. So yeah, I mean, it keeps you thinking all the time, and he mixes reality, like normal reality, with I don't know the term in English actually, but like magical realism. So he talks about life and he mixes all these things, and also he shows up that the fact that it does matter where you come from and what your family story is like if I don't know, you have like some sort of disorder there or something bad has happened and you pay for it, and at the same time, if someone of your family is in trouble or has done something wrong or has been forgotten or excluded or whatever, then someone else in that family portrays that, like he brings that himself in order to have another chance for that family system to fix it. I know this sounds really silly, but he shows you that. He shows you. You could give it a go. You could give it a try. Oh my god, Ginger. So yeah, those are my books, and I hope you like it. I hope you really like them. And yeah, have a nice week, and go be wild. Be wild. And read a lot. Bye. I collect books which don't say a word about you. Kill for me. Guts are for fish. I don't want to fight against the world anymore now that I've learned it's not my enemy. I am holding my cat's neck with both of my hands. They ask, they demand my comprehension, reason, entirety, but I can't argue with the clouds.